stock market. I haven't been watching the news. I don't watch the news, but then I thought, well, what would happen if the stock market would crash? And I saw this, or somebody said, what would happen to my 401k if the stock market crashed? You know what it said? Don't panic. Invest more. Invest more if the stock market crashed. Look, let me flip this around if I can. We can see right here, look, Wall Street in panic as stocks crash. See, this is way back then. Wall Street was panicking when the stock market was crashing back in 1929. But when I looked at this one thing that said you should not, don't panic. Don't panic. If if the stock market collapses, don't worry about your 401k. There's no need to panic. I was trying to find it on here, you all. So what would happen to the economy? let me do this, you all. It's not really funny at all. It is not funny. Hello. So what happens to my 401k right here if the dollar collapses? What will happen to my 401k if the dollar collapses? Then your 401k will be effectively worthless until the dollar recovers. Well, what if the dollar doesn't recover and you got a 401k and you've been advised, well, let's just keep investing more, but the dollar never recovers? In fact, what if the new monetary system is literally ushered in during that time? What if? What if? So look at this. So let's say you have 100,000 saved up. If the dollar collapses, the result is inflation. The result is inflation. So look. Oh, look, they even got the questions on here. What happens if the US dollar is no longer the world's currency? The world currency. No matter the world currency, the reserve currency, you'll still owe your mortgage, your credit cards, your car, and your college tuition. You will still own it. Yeah, both of my ears are burning, but this one's burning a little bit more. I'm gonna have a hot flash while I'm on here getting a suntan on the internet, you all, through the means of a hot flash. Oh no. Look, the big difference is that those dollars will now be worth mere pennies. Wow. Mere pennies. If that is not an eye opener, if the US dollar is no longer the world currency, which is the reserve currency, listen what it means. No matter the world currency, reserve currency, you will still owe your mortgage, your credit card, your car, your college tuition. You'll still owe it. And the big difference is that those dollars will now be worth mere pennies. So could you imagine if the dollar was worth mere pennies? Well, wow. And then you want to go buy some goods and services? You think when you go to the grocery store, do you think your dollar's value, which is worth mere pennies, going to get you much food? No, it really won't get you much food, you all. We're going to see inflation. That's right. Really worry when the tax havens or the Vaticans are in crisis. To Monaco, well, remember it was like the Vatican had all the gold, all the money had to be returned to the Vatican by a certain time last year. Was it by October the 1st? It was an edict that went out. The Catholic Church had to have all the money sent back to the Vatican They were ahead of the game. Hello, Gina, honey. They were ahead of the game. Look, so the big difference is those dollars will now be worth pennies, and it will be two. It will be 2 or 3 or even 10 times as hard to pay for anything, including food, shelter, etc. So really, let's think about this. If your dollar, if you can take a dollar, I don't know what you can buy with a dollar, really, a pack of ramen. Say a pack of ramen is 32 cents. And the dollar collapses. It's no longer the world currency, and it's worth mere pennies. I just got loud tone in this ear. It's no longer worth what it was, just mere pennies. And you want to go in there and buy a physical item, that ramen, it's going to cost you a whole lot of money. A whole lot of money, you all. Look, will be 2, 3, or even 10 times as hard to pay for anything at all. Look, why do you think they're even entertaining this? What happens if the United States loses its world reserve currency? Why would you even be entertaining a thought like that if it were not possible? Really think about it. Hello, everyone. Yes, it will be monopoly money. That's true. Monopoly money. They wouldn't be able to print enough. They would not be able to print enough money at all. They wouldn't. So now let's look at this. What will happen to gold if the dollar collapses? What will happen to gold if the dollar collapses? If the dollar collapses, gold will likely appreciate in value as it has in inverse relationships to the price of the dollar. And as a result, many market speculators believe that gold is an efficient hedge against the dollar. But what happened to the gold at one time? The gold got confiscated. You remember that? Gold confiscated. So if, because they know who buys the gold. Look at this. Look at this, you all. Now, you going to invest your money in gold and silver? Well, if the depression, the last depression, look, under executive order of the president, all persons are required to deliver on or before May the 1st, 1932, all gold coins, gold bullion, and gold certificates now owned by them to the Federal Reserve Bank, the branch or agency, or any member bank of the Federal Reserve System. Executive order. Do you think that this executive order has been rescinded? Do you think that executive order has been rescinded? Well, look at this. They're bringing it back up, you all. They are bringing it back up. Executive order 6102 led to the extreme rarity of the 1933 double eagle coin, gold coin. The order caused all gold coin production to cease and all 1933 minted coins to be destroyed. About 20 such coins were stolen. Actually, they were stolen, leading to an outstanding Secret Service warrant for the arrest and confiscation of the coins. You all we got to find out, is that executive order? Because if your money becomes worthless and you think, oh, well, I'm going to put my money in silver and gold, and there is a lot of push for that. Danny Medina, hello. Yeah, we can end that Federal Reserve now. How we doing in the chat? You are we doing okay? I think we're doing great. I really think we're doing great. Look at this. They're entertaining it. how the U.S. government seized all citizens' goads in the 1930s via the executive order. Now, you don't want to look at that, do you? Gina, honey, we want to look at it because they can come and steal your gold. They can take your gold. Seize it. Seize something physical, a physical property that you own. They can do an executive order and seize it. And you know that they got it. So how the U.S. government seized all the citizens' gold. It seems so far-fetched. Well, thank you, Delano Roosevelt, Franklin D. Roosevelt, with your executive orders and your banks people. Look at them. They're quite happy that there was an executive. That looks kind of like Charles Schumer in the face a tad bit. That guy, I don't know. This one right here, look at their eyes. They want him to do that executive order. Who are they? Who are they? With the global financial markets in disarray, many investors are turning to classic safe havens. Gold is trading above $1,750. That's $1,750 per troy ounce, which is the standard measure. Gold confers familiarity during the downturns, you all. Money, the world needs money, you all. It tends to hold its value. It tends to hold its value. But during extreme crisis, the government can also seize people's gold. There have been some stunning examples of gold confiscation in the past. Most memorably, this occurred in the United States in 1933 during the Great Depression. Albeit it's more accurate to call it a nationalization than a confiscation, since citizens were compensated. Were they compensated? The government of Franklin D. Roosevelt seized all gold bullion, gold coins via Executive Order 6102, forcing citizens to sell at well below the market rates. Immediately after the confiscation, the government set a new official rate for gold that was much higher as part as the Gold Reserve Act, you all. That is wow. They made it even higher. You had to take what they offered you. Would you be upset? Now let's think about this. You got there and you have invested in gold and you have invested in silver, and they want to come, and it doesn't matter if you got it in the bank. They're going to get into your safety deposit boxes. It doesn't matter if you've got it in your home. I'm sure there is a record of everything. Everything. Well, during times of extremes, I don't know what type of law would protect you against an executive order. Most High Son, we do give much of our power away. We really do. We really do. Look. The horns of Trilama. I never heard of the horns of Trilama. Why does government risk the bad publicity of restricting the gold? It's linked to a cornerstone of macroeconomics known as monetary policy trilemma, that countries must choose. I didn't know this. Countries must choose between two of the following, and they can't generally do all three at the same time. They have to set a fixed exchange rate, allowing capital to move freely over the international borders, and be able to independently set interest rates and print money. In other words, control the monetary policy. Sounds like a game. It sounds like a game if you think about it. It really does. Look at this. Executive order. Let's get a good picture of this. This Liberty, Lady Liberty, right there, United States something. Oh, there it is right there. You can see it. All the gold. Why would you want the gold certificates? See, even your gold certificates saying that you own gold, well, they want that too. They want it. But really, when you buy gold and you get a gold certificate, I don't have a gold certificate and I don't own gold. Might have some gold jewelry, but it might not have gold jewelry. I don't like to wear jewelry except maybe this right here. But what if you got a gold certificate and you think you got some physical gold, but in all reality, it's just a certificate and there's nothing there. There's nothing there backing that piece of paper. You may think you got it, but if you can't physically hold it, and what if you have something and it's gold plated or it's fool's gold and you think you got real gold? Because they could do some really good imitation. They could. They could fool you with fool's gold. I remember finding that in the ground, in the rocks growing up. I thought, wow, look at this shiny gold rock. And it really looked like gold. So, yeah. So let me see this. If this is still, has this been, look, forbidding, you are forbidding Executive Order 6102 forbids the hoarding of gold coins, gold bullion, and gold certificates. Executive order is an executive order signed on April the 5th by President Franklin Roosevelt forbidding the hoarding of gold coins, gold bullion, gold certificates within the continental United States. Oh, well, see now, there you go. There's a little loophole within the continental United States. The executive order was made under the authority of Trading with the Enemy. Trading with the Enemy Act. Trading with the Enemy Act. I didn't know there was something like that, trading with the enemy. Wow. And amended by the Emergency Banking Act in March of 1933. The limitation on the ownership in the United States was repealed after Gerald Ford signed a bill legalizing private ownership of gold coins. Bars and certificates by an act of Congress codified publication. Let me see if it was. It was repealed. So I want to know if this executive order is still intact. Executive Order 6102. EXECUTIVE Order 6102 exist. Is it exist? Does it exist? Does anybody know? Today, let me see it. I can't find it. Actually, I can't find it while I'm sitting under here looking at this Executive Order 6102. A dangerous precedent. Executive Order 6102 marked one of the most controversial and infamous moves by the President Franklin Roosevelt. Did you know it required Americans only, Americans living within the continental United States, continental. So I would assume if you didn't live in the continental United States, they could not get your gold. Could they? So what if the stock market crashed? What if trading with the enemy? Oh, copper is plastic too, and it's very thin. Good afternoon, you all. I'd want to know. I wonder how to look up executive orders. I want to look up the executive orders. Looking up executive orders. executive, ECU. Somebody do a search. Orders by presidents. I just want to know if they, if it still exists. I really do. I'm going to look it up. I'm going to try. If I can find the executive order 6102, executive order 6102. Let me see if I can find it. Oh my gosh, it's got all these documents. No, I don't want to do it. Let me see. I'm not going to search for it right now because there's no way I'm going to be able to find it right now. I'm not going to find it. So I'm not going to look at it. It's too much red tape for me. I'm trying to do a YouTube video and I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole right there. I am not going down that rabbit hole. So what would happen to your 401k? What would happen if the economy collapsed, if the stock market collapsed? Well, look what happened. What would happen? Look at this. Should I cash out my money of my 401k before the market crashes? Surrendering to the fear and panic that a market crash elicits can cost you. Withdrawing money early from your 401k can result in a hefty IRS tax penalty, which won't do you any good, any favors in the long run. It's especially important for younger workers to ride out the market, the lows, and reap these rewards of the future recovery. So, there are people who've cashed out their 401ks and they used them. They didn't care about the penalties. They probably think if the market's going to crash, I'm going to cash it out. I'm going to pay that penalty. I'm going to get some money before I don't have no money. Now, people have had to do that, and you can tap into it, but no, see, this is really weird. It's really weird. What happens? What happens? Will the houses be cheaper? If the economy collapses, will your house be cheaper? Mortgage rates typically will drop. They may not. They say typically will drop during a traditional recession. Is this a traditional recession? Home prices can drop as well with fewer qualified buyers and less competition from homes. However, there are still plenty of risks during an economic downturn, and today's climate is not exactly traditional. Traditional, you all. So, should you pay off your house? Oh, it's not necessary to pay off your mortgage before a recession. Oh, wow. If you have extra funds to put toward paying down debt, it's more beneficial to focus on the balances with the higher interest rates, such as your credit cards and your personal loans. I've heard that before, but if you're focusing on that and you know the stock market's crashing and you got your house and you want to pay your house off, and you say, oh, I'm not going to pay my house off. I'm going to put my money toward these credit cards. Well, what are you going to live in? What are you going to live in when you put all your money toward those credit cards and you did not pay your house off if you could have? Really? I mean, this is good advice, but there are times when you got to really start being strategic. You got to be strategic in your thinking. You really do. According to Patriots, we are going to go back to the 1972 reverse amortization. I've seen that. I have. Yeah, a lot of people are being encouraged to do that. Well, you'll be happy. You'll own nothing and you'll be happy. You will own nothing and you will be happy. You homesteaded your land, rainbow turtle, honey. Look. Should I keep Should I keep my money in the US dollar? Hmm. Having dollars as savings saves you exchange rate costs and volatilities for those who travel internationally frequently. Saving in dollars can provide cost benefits because sourcing them comes at a higher level of whatever. So, oh wow, you want to? This is like a big eye opener. You're talking in the stock market crashes. Look, can a 401k go to zero? Yes. You can lose all your money in a 401k. However, this is not common. If you are concerned about losing all of your money in a 401k, then there are several things that you can do to protect it. You know, I would be very disappointing. And so were the people during the Depression when they lost everything. There was this thing about French Lick, Indiana. It was a big old resort area. They were jumping out of the windows, these wealthy investors, because they watched their wealth disappear just like that. Just like that. In French Lick, Indiana. French? Yeah. During the Depression, during stock market crash. Let me type it in. They jumped out of the buildings. They jumped out of the buildings, you all. It was their world. Out of the buildings. It was, I could not believe it. Yeah. Look at this. I want to show you this. French Lick Resort. We went there one time and it was kind of eerie. It was really eerie. Inside it was all it's considered the eighth wonder of the world. It was kind of pretty on the inside. It was, look at that. It's like, it did look like this in all of its glory. It did. But what happened? 1855, 1901, a fire destroyed. I wanted to see if there's anything. When the stock market crashed, the hotel, this was very expensive. When the stock market crashed in 1929, the hotel emptied of guests almost overnight. Overnight. The Ballard eventually closed the hotel in June of 1932, and in 1934 sold it to the Jesus, for $1. Wow. Wow, you all. I mean, they were in the process of remodeling that place on the inside, laden in gold, mosaics, tapestries. Sold it to the Jesus for $1. They emptied of the guest almost overnight. The Jesus removed many of the property's elegant appointments, and eventually they dismantled the building's 4 Moorish towers. They dismantled the building's 4 Moorish towers. The seminary, known as the West Baden College, operated until 1964. During the declining, the Jesus closed the facility, and a Michigan couple purchased the property in 1966 and donated it to the Northwood Institute, a private college. Wow. Look, Indiana landmarks. The collapse. Okay, look. It was the country's largest statewide historic preservation organization led the change to stabilize the hotel to preserve the redevelopment of it. Look, what? 500,000. This is making me give a hot flash, you all. West Baden. It was really beautiful, but then you think about it. Hotel. Overnight. Emptied overnight. Look at how grand it is. This is what it would look like. Only the wealthy, look at this. Only the wealthy could go there. Really. It literally looks like a castle, a fortress and stuff. They're not really showing much on the inside. Look at this. Look at the floors in there. This is remodeling of it. It's like, wow. They had bowling alleys. They had it all going on, you all, in there. Bowling alleys, you name it. They had it going on. Beautiful gardens and stuff like that, emptied overnight. So the stock market crashed. But then look at this. The stock market crash. Recession is a done deal. Will destroy the profits. Should I buy now or should I wait for a stock market boom? Well, if anything's going to boom, it's going to be the crypto market, which has the blockchain and stuff like that. How we doing over here, you all? You will eat something. Was somebody going to eat something? We're going to have to wealthy good. Only they couldn't tell the Most High Son, you all. We're going to do it. You better have something tangible. A bear market and a market crash is on the deck. Well, how far would it go? I don't even know what an ISA is. My ISA is ready for a stock market crash. What is an ISA? I've never heard of that before. An ISA. I don't know what it is. Look at this. So, stock market crash of 1929. Yeah. That's right. You don't miss what you ain't got, and you can't count what you don't got. You can't say, well, I would have had it. Well, if you never physically had it, it never was yours to begin with. So look, the stock market crash, PBS, that ushered in the Great Depression. They were bought and sold on the stock market exchanges, in which most important was, yeah. So where's that money go? My dad would always say when things crash, my dad would say, well, where'd that money go? That money went somewhere because the people didn't get that money. Where did that money go? Somebody got that money. That's what my dad would say. Somebody got the money. And they did. Mid-May mayhem, LPS. Everybody's personal expenditures is different amongst us. That is true. It is true, you all. Personal expenditures is different, and we have things that we prioritize in our life. We do what is important for us to purchase and not to purchase and prepare for. And people have different lifestyles. They do. There's different incomes. We all want to survive. I don't think I know anybody in here who doesn't want to survive. I don't. But if you don't want to survive, I would encourage you to do all that you can to stay afloat, because the person who stays afloat when the ship goes down, if you're doing your best to stay afloat, then you're more than likely going to get rescued. But if you give up and you sink with the boat, you ain't going to get rescued. No, you're down there and you've already sunk. You've already sunk. You want to stay afloat when the ship goes down. If you got to jump off that ship and stay afloat yourself, do it. Stay afloat as long as you can. Try to survive as long as you can, because your chances of being rescued and making it are way up there than they are if you just, no, I'm just going to sink. I'm not even going to doggy paddle. I'm just going to sink. I'm not even going to put forth an effort. That's right. Float on your back. I had an aunt in Utica. She would lay on the Ohio River. She would read a newspaper floating on her back. I don't know how she did it. I don't. But there's sinkholes. You ever been in a sinkhole in the river where the water just like, and they're trying to pull you down in it? What are they from? Is there something underground that's doing it? 365, don't be afraid, you all. You can do that too. Oh, and ISDA, Valerie, honey, thank you. an individual savings account. Oh, well, thank you, Valerie, honey. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice, you all. You might want to have something tangible because look at this. Look at these headlines. What to do? What are you going to do during a stock market crash? Don't panic. Don't panic, they say. Don't panic. You think a snowstorm made people panic. When the stock market starts crashing, people are going to go. They're gonna go to the store and get whatever they can while their money's still worth something. Now's the time to be preparing in whatever way you can. Really, it is. Joe, honey, you got something? Oh, okay, that's a joke. That's a joke. I just got it. Florida, Texas, you all. You're gonna be running. You're gonna be running away. Oh wow. Look at this. They sure got a lot of information out there. Stock market crash, overview, how it happens, and examples. How it happens and examples. They're getting you ready. So if you need to know what's going on, if you want to know, if you're curious of really the logistics, there's all kinds of information out here. They went through great depths to write their articles to tell you what to expect. These companies and stuff. And banks will go under, companies will go under, people will lose their homes, people will lose everything. Society will begin to collapse, neighborhoods will collapse, people will begin to collapse within their being. They will panic, they will start losing it. When people fall on hard times, you're going to see what these people are made out of. When push comes to shove, you may see a very not so nice, pretty part of a person come out of them because then they're going to go into survival mode. And their survival mode may not have a shred of kindness, a shred of compassion, a shred of love in it. It's them and them only because the goal is to survive, really. And you got to be prepared for that type of mentality too. You know what, Sage, honey? I thought about this tent. This would be a really good. I've been really looking at tents. I got some old tents in my house that we used to use, but I've been watching at night. I'll watch some survival thing with tents. A canvas tent is a very durable tent. And you can put a stove in it, very heavy duty canvas tent. You can. And these are the stoves they put in these canvas tents. See, look at this right here. This thing called a white duck luxury premium thing. Gina, honey, why are you talking about tents? You're supposed to be talking about a stock market crash. I'm talking about survival. Now, these tents, they look really nice. If I had a tent like that, you know, you got a durable canvas. You ever cover your boat up? Or something with a cheapo tarp from the Harbor Freight or the Walmart, the plastic tarps, is not take long because they're plastic like this. The sun will dry rot them. They will start to decompose. They'll turn to powder. But if you've ever had a really thick canvas tent, it's really durable. Look at this. This is the military. You know the military don't use no plastic tents. No, they got look at this, Kodiak tent, you all. That's what you want. If you're going to live and you got the money, if you want to invest your money, you got some money to throw away, and you want to go into survival mode, get you a tent like that. Get you a tent like that because I highly recommend it. If you've got spare money and you don't know what to buy, get a tent like that. And while you're at it, you can get the stoves that go in the tents like this. They're made for them. They even have a thing for the tent, like a chimney thing for it to go through, you all. Really, I've been looking at those. I think, wow, that's pretty cool. If I had to go, but where would I go? Where would I go, you all? That's right, you all. Canvas tent. You can watch videos on it. I would encourage that. You want to go simple. Simple. You want to survive. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's worth it. Buy some property in a tent and a lake will do a pinch if your city gets destroyed. Buy it now rather than later. That's exactly right. It will take 2 days for the people from the city to get out into the country. If the highways are not shut down, because what's the highways or the Eisenhower did something to nationalize the highways. Did he not? Eisenhower and nationalizing the highways during an emergency. Somebody help me out. Highways during, I can't spell emergencies, and nobody gets on it. I did. I got it. See, look at this. What did Eisenhower National Interstate and Defense Highways Act do? Okay, you all. So they got it. They got it. They got it. How we doing over here? We all need to start coming together and forming communities, you all, that take care of each other so we can survive what's coming. Yes, we do. We really do. That's exactly right. We do. We need to come together. And when you do come together, notice that you just better be prepared, because you're going to have a rotten apple, an apple that's not so ripe, that looks good on the outside. You're going to have some rotten apples sneak in, and they're going to try to take over and make all the other apples turn against you. Yeah, you got to be very, very careful, you all. You got to have some wisdom. Get a small community, Sage, honey. Yeah, that's right. You really don't own anything. That's right. You're paying for it because you brought nothing into this world, and you'll take nothing out of this world. If they want, you thought you owned your gold, but they made an executive order and they took the gold away. Took it totally away, you all. That's right. Oh, a very high tent community. Now they see that would be pretty neat. You'd have to have a big piece of land. We'd have to have some kind of entrepreneur, somebody who wants to get a big piece of land. But then you're going to have to be, I don't know, you might have to do some screening of some applicants, you all, because people are going to be flooding all over the place. Really, you'd have to meet some criteria and stuff. This thing can get really, really tricky. It can. You got to have people in charge who are not pushovers, people who know what they're doing, who's got the love at the center of their being, but then they ain't a doormat. They're not a doormat, you all. People got to work together. Communities will have to work together. People will work together, and it'd be good. Now let's think about this hypothetically speaking, you all. So suppose you got yourself a tent, a big durable tent or whatever kind of tent you had, and you had some garden tools and stuff like that. You have a shovel, rakes and stuff, and you got your food storage, what little you got. You took all your necessities, some medicines and stuff, and you hightail it to a place. Well, you better be prepared. So you don't want to show up empty-handed. Don't show up empty-handed at places like that, you all. Don't do it. If there was places like that, no, you got to be able to contribute, because you couldn't have no loafers. Now, and a person, really think about it. Some people can't. Some people might be wheelchair bound, but maybe they have resources that they can contribute. Some people may not be able to do as much physical labors as others, but they got the brains. They got the brains big time. They're good at planning. They can tell you how to do filtration systems and things like this. People are really good in agriculture. People good, yeah, skill sets. I'm talking about skill sets. People need real world skill sets in survival modes. They do. Now, if you're just playing video games, that's really not a real world skill set. You got to be able to do something with your hand and stuff like that. Now, playing video games is a nice recreational thing for people. You all better really think about it. We get back right with the father, turning back to the children. He will turn, what's it say? I remember that verse that you said. Yeah, I do remember that verse. You can help with the children. See, you was a teacher. That's right. We got you. Yeah, you all. We got to get it to go. We got to get it going. We really do got to get it going. You know what I thought one time, and it was in the back of my mind. If I could put up something, I say, if I could get enough money coming in, if I could put up something to put toward buying a whole bunch of land for people to go to, but then you're going to get yourself in a lot of trouble like that. I thought about doing that, but then I just, that's as far as it got. It just got to be a thought. But really, if you had something like a resort or something, it'd be a good idea. It really would be a good idea. Good ideals start up here. Actually, they better come from the heart or they're not good. They're not good, you all. They're not. But really, you should get you some survival stuff if you can. If you're going to get out of the city, going to get you a tent. If you can't get a canvas tent, you can go to the Walmart. You get like a 10-person tent. A campground. That's exactly right. A campground. Oh, you know of a group from getting property in Mexico to build a community of about 200. Yeah. I mean, I think that's wonderful. I really do think it's wonderful. You know what I saw on this one YouTube channel? This one guy, he raised money. He raised from his people 800 some odd $1,000 to buy this church that he lived near. And he raised that money and he bought that church. I thought, wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of money, you all. Yeah, I mean, stuff like that can be done. Gina, honey, you going to do something like that? No, I'm not one to do like that. I'm not going to ask for that. I did think it would be a really good idea if a large piece of land could be bought, but I don't got the money to do it, and I wouldn't ask nobody to do it. I wouldn't. They'll take your guns. And here's the thing with this. When you buy land like that, when you buy land, they know where you're at. They know where you're at. You cannot get away from them. They're watching everything. They're watching everything you do. You may think you're safe, but the authorities know. Oh my gosh, William Goswick, you got no notification. Micro and macro manifest. Speak life. Yeah, he did you all. He got it. He got him a church. And yeah, but that really would be good. I think it's good that people have communities because there's some people who have no place to go. Zero place to go. And if you're going to go somewhere, you want to be around a like-minded individuals. You really do. Um, Groceries know what you buy. Yeah, when you use your little card for to get some coupons off, you scan your store card to get the one price. Oh yeah, they got a good habit of it. It reminds me, cattle-minded thinkers, yeah, United. It reminds me of on Star Trek when they had guests come or something like that. They knew everything that they would give them, everything, or certain movies. They knew everything that they were used to eating and everything, and they wondered how come, how did you? You wouldn't build a community in Mexico because you might get attacked by a dog man. Um, yeah, I think small communities would be pretty good. And if you think about that, the movies, what's the movie? What is that? Some kind of apocalyptic movie. You got these people trying to survive in a community like a Walking Dead or something like that. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Something like that, you all. We can speak life. There's life living inside of us, and that life is telling us do not give up no matter what. We don't have to give up. We do not have to give up at all, you all. Don't give up. You give up, you can't get rescued. You can't get saved if you give up. Boom. You don't want to go down with the ship. When it sinks, don't go down with it. Jump off of it and stay afloat as long as you can. Will the gold and silver skyrocket? William, honey, it's going to skyrocket. It probably will skyrocket. A small 200 is the Book of Eli. Oh, I seen that movie and I don't want to watch it again. It was kind of depressing. It really was, the Book of Eli. He was like blind, but he memorized the whole entire Bible. Dublin, Ireland ain't no joke. No, it's not no joke. Never surrender, you all. Really, don't surrender. You know, there's lots of farmland. There is lots of farmland. I'm sure you can look around farmlands, people's property. Property is going up all over the place, and they're doing these like absolute auctions. It's like every single thing that was attached to that individual's things, everything in the house, everything's going up for sale. And that's kind of sad when you think about it. You look at, well, there's their whole entire life. I don't know what happened to the people, but it's all gone. It's all gone. So goat milk in the store costs $20 a gallon. Rainbow turtle. Yeah, $20 $8 a gallon. So will there be a stock market crash? There's lots of stuff on here about the stock market crashing. It really is tyrannical, tranny. Look at this, corporate Federal Institute. I remember this right here. I do. People lost money back. No, I was just got married, so I don't remember that. I don't remember that. I wasn't really that into it. I wasn't the S&P. You got these stock traders, but guess what? Guess what? You're not going to need stock traders anymore in the new economy because the algorithm, the blockchains, the AI is going to be the one doing the trading for you. So you will not need physical humans to do any of this financial stuff anymore. So there probably will be, yeah, there will be a stock market crash because there will not be any need for human intervention. The algorithms, the artificial intelligence will do all the trading, and it'll put it in your hands. You tell it what you want it to do, and it will do it. It will do it. Look at stark plunges back then. Angel Gonzalez, check your countries for auctions. So yeah, you all. If there's somebody in here who has a plan thinking, well, I'm going to put my money somewhere if you buy property like that, I don't know how you get people to do it. It's a good investment, and then you got to make the taxes on it. What happens when you can't pay the taxes? Then they come and take the property that you did have and your house also, you all. Sage, honey, that's right. Hello there, T, honey, in Dublin, Ireland. We see you, T, honey. Yeah, you got to have a skill set that you can barter with. Teaching, cutting hairs. Oh, Jane, honey, when I saw that word "so," you know what I thought it was at a distance? It made my face blush. It made my face blush, but I'm glad it wasn't that word because I'm thinking, oh my gosh. Woo. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to say that would not be in there. I really am not, because you ought to see what I thought it was. I need some put my better. These are my good glasses. My God, I did, you all. You can operate. You got to have some heavy equipment. You can love, cook, and massage really good, you all. See, you got to have people from all walks of life. You really do, who have all different types of skills, because you can't just have one skill, think you're going to make it, because you can't do everything. Even I got lots of skills, but there's some things I cannot do. I can't physically do them. And some things I may not have the mental capacity within up here to figure out something very complicated. I may not. The water never goes bad, you was told. Just have to strain it and purify it. That's true. But now's the time to be gathering resources, you all. It really is. Gathering your resources, putting your head on straight, and start thinking we're going to have to get into the survival mode. And there's not very many people. There will be people who take advantage of people who are preparing. They will. Or let's say they'll try to take advantage. They'll try to do it. But you got to be prepared for that also. Anything health related will help. Yeah. Oh, wow. Your ex never washed dishes nor cooked. You can grow tamales on trees. Yeah. It's that time, 2 years, and you have been preparing. Somebody's going to go crazy by December. Patricia, honey, you're so welcome. You're welcome. In the big cities, you are. You have lived in survival mode since you were in your 20s. You are. So the stock market crashes. There is a lot of chatter. There's a lot of chatter about the stock market crashing. Because if you come over to here, I don't know what happened. I used to follow the stock market and stuff. I like to hear the boring stuff talking. There's a great big mothership of Jerusalem this morning. Yeah. So I didn't know. Look at this. 11 hours ago, Wall Street crash, time event, stock market crash. What to do? They're telling you what to do. The big stock market crashes in history occurs when there is a significant decline in stock prices of 1929 right there. We're going to see it. There's no way to usher in a new system, a new monetary system, if the current system, the old system, is not brought down. There's no way to usher in the new system. It has to completely collapse, more or less. And you better be prepared to survive the storm, because it's a major, major storm. Yeah, it's true, Amy Gill. It's true, you all. So if you're just tuning in, stock market crash, Gina Honey's been on here around an hour. Took up around an hour of your all's time. I'm sorry about it. But yeah, small communities of around a 200. Yeah, that sounds good. It does sound good. And with like-minded individuals, and you got to be careful who you allow in your communities. You do not want troublemakers, because you're going to bring even more stress on an already stressful situation. And you can't have big loud mouths taking control. I mean, really, because yeah, that's all right. You can't have no big time partiers, you all. You can't have no partiers. You got to work. You got to work. That's watch out for the egos. That's exactly what I'm talking about. People with the big egos. If you don't like arrogant people, you better be very careful who you allow in your community. Yeah. Grow your sprouts, you all. And if you can't do it, you better make do where you're at, you all. Make do where you're at, because you shut the highways down and nobody gets out. Nobody. They can do a complete lock. Nobody gets out. You're stuck where you're at. The Ozarks. Yeah, something about sea level too, to be above sea level. So yeah. So they got examples of the stock market crashing. Recession is a done deal. Stock market crash. Why is it crashing? Black Tuesday. Bear market. How to take advantage of it. 50%. Oh, somebody said something about May. Jeremy Grantham alerts of a 50% market crash starting May. Well, let's see, you all. We're going to see what he said really fast. If you into the stock market, I'm not going to listen to it. Why does he think it's back to the grinder in May of 2023? Tesla stocks. Nailed down the Pacific. The housing market has not crashed yet, you all. It hasn't. So I'm done. Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. Yes, hello there. High ground is where you want to be. You want to be around 800 feet above sea level. I think that's what it was. And if you want to listen. Now I'm really serious here. If you want some good survival things, if you could throw it in your car, you want to get a good canvas tent if you've got the money. If not, a tent or a tarp will do, but this would last long. Anything that's a heavy canvas. And you get a stove. You can put a stove in there and read up on it. Watch videos to see what would be the best for you. Really, if you had to flee, and you can cook on these things right here. You can. I keep watching videos on them, and it's really nice. You can put you can put a cot in there. You can even sleep on the floor. If you get those rolled up foam mattresses, that's what I was sleeping on the floor. I had those mattresses that come from Amazon or something, and they're rolled up in a box. And when you do it, you just lay there, and it's like real heavy duty sponge like, but not memory foam. That's really perfect. And it don't take up much space. But if you can't get off the ground, that won't do you no good. Yeah, you can do that. You can survive. You can, really. Lose weight. Yeah, you got to get in shape, you all. You got to, if you can, try to lose some weight. Gina Silly Billy. That's right. Oh, no, 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 no. Well, you'll go poisoned. You will get poisoned, wit rabbit. You will. That's right. Superpowers. Be the force with us, you all. So yeah, this right here. And you might need a hatchet. You need a hatchet. You need a good hatchet. And you need a flint stone, a flint thing. You need a good flint thing to start a fire. A flint, a flint stick, a flint thing, and they're really good ones, around $15. Um, I don't know what they're called. I have some, but I've lost them. Here's what they look like right here. Oh, this is only 80 cents. Something like this right here, a ferris rod or something. You want to get one that's going to last a really long time. You do. Because if you're out and about, oh, what on earth is that? It's probably really cheap. Yeah, it's probably really cheap. If you're out and about, you want one that's going to last a long time. You can even get them at the Walmart. They do make a spark on it. At least you could get some sparks and make a fire, and a good sharp knife to like whittle your wood till it's on a branch till it's like really like frilly and stuff. You can do it. A 9-volt battery. Yeah, you can do it. Y'all think survival, because you're going to need to be survival. You really are. I don't even know what this is. I think of flint sticks. Some of those may not be good, but yeah, it's okay. It's all right, you all. You can do it. You better get prepared, really. I'm not just saying that. I really ain't. It's good to get prepared. Yeah, if you're going to get a stick, look up which one's got the best reviews and stuff like that, like a rod, because some of these rods, you won't be able to use it within your lifetime, but then maybe you might use it within your lifetime. But I'm going to go as the stock market crash, and when the dollar collapses and there's a stock market crash, people panic and your dollar becomes worth nothing. You lose your 401k and then you're out the creek. You're up the creek. The drier flint, learn your berries. Yeah, you can eat. Yeah, you can get you a book on how to identify edible plants, edible, things like that. You can get a book like that, little pocket book or something. Do something for yourself, really. I'm gonna go, but it's a good idea if you are community oriented and people are coming together and building communities. That'd be great. To find one that you would fit into and that resonates with you, it'd be really wonderful. It would be better than a gang of marauders showing up at your place. That's right, because one person can be easily overtaken. One person, a family, just an individual family could be easily overtaken by a gang of people. It really could. But if you have a big community, it's not so easy when you have a lot more people. It's not so easy to just think you're going to come in and take over, because those people are going to defend what they've got. Yeah. Um, all right, you all, I'm going to go. Oh, Louie, honey, you're so welcome. Yeah, there's no need to panic. This is the time to think straight, you all. It really is. Think straight. And we don't know what the future holds, but we know who holds the future. And we're not going to go down with the ship. We're going to do our best to stay afloat. We are. That way, we're going to last longer, and hopefully we'll be rescued, because if we sink with the ship, there's no rescuing. We ain't going to make it. Our time is up then. So with that being said, you all, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world, hello. From my heart to yours, I love you. Have a wonderful rest of your day, you all, and going to get into the survival mode. Even though there's ships up there and stuff like that, you all, there's something really happening on Earth. There's a major shift occurring, and a lot of distractions, but we got to take care of ourselves. We do, and each other. Love you.